MVP right now is Josh Allen at 1 and Lamar Jackson at number 2. Okay, you don't, without two of your top receivers, Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid, have that performance by Josh Allen and have that clutch performance by Josh Allen and not take the top spot when the guy that you had to go over jump, who was running away with it, struggled against his rival. The reality is Josh got his rival and Lamar Jackson didn't. I'm shocked or surprised that Josh was able to jump him this early on, but right now Josh is the MVP with Lamar at second.
Generally, we agree. So to catch
you I still recognize Jared Goff in there also in terms of, I'd add a third, but that in terms of the numbers that he can continue to put up. I know he's a different animal than the two that Dan has mentioned in there, but what he's doing is special.
Goff, I think they're going to hold against him the fact that the team is so dominant that people are going to think that other quarterbacks might be able to do it. They just destroy people because Goff and the Lions have just been so ridiculously good. But this is not where we should go. Let me catch Dan up on where we've been. We've talked a lot about Allen this morning, MVP. We totally agree. We've talked about the spectacular season he's having. I'm trying to figure out how concerned I should be about Kansas City. Because one part of me wants to say it's the first game they've lost since last Christmas. One should not overreact. The other part of me wants to say their point differential is the 10th best in the entire NFL. It's the third best in their own division. They were a blocked field goal away from losing last week against Denver. They have some obvious flaws. That offensive line, that left side of the line, which you talked about a lot here, Danny, is a real problem. I'm trying to figure out how concerned we should be about the two-time defending champs.
Very little. They're the two-time defending champ. They'd won 15 in a row, and they went on the road to one of the toughest places in the NFL to play and found out that Josh Allen's on a heater this year, okay? And it really became let's call it a one-possession game until that final 4th and 2 when Josh has that huge run. I think the takeaways from yesterday are this, Greeny, as I watched that. One, the Chiefs absolutely struggled on offense versus man coverage, okay? Like Buffalo a couple times just lined up straight man coverage and said, we're going to lock you up, okay? Now, they hit some throws to Xavier Worthy, and Xavier was a big part of the offense early on. But that's probably the thing if you're Matt Nagy and Andy Reid going, we struggled versus man coverage. And the second thing I'd say is this, and Rex and Tedy will speak to it, this was the most disconnected I've seen their defense. And it's a tip of the cap to Joe Brady, who's the offensive coordinator at Buffalo. He got into stacks and bunches so many different times. And the amount of, I don't want to say blown coverages, but miscommunication that happened by Kansas City's defense, I think that's the bigger takeaway for me because Josh Allen made some throws. There's no question about it. But I haven't seen Kansas City be this on different pages defensively like I saw them yesterday.
I would say the one example is the Samuels.
Absolutely.
Correct, Tedy.
He catches it on the crosser, and even watching that, you're like, you almost pause, like, whoa.
Where's the next defender?
Wait, did that just happen? Right. This is Kansas City we're talking here, so yeah.
Well, I think the biggest thing that I saw in that game starts with protection first. And the protection, to me, Kansas City, has been getting after the quarterback like crazy, but the protection has been unreal. Like, he never got sacked in that game. Josh Allen never got sacked in that game. So, to me, I think it started up front, the plan of protecting the quarterback. Yeah. You talk about the bunches and all that other type of stuff, but it's the bunches that were.
Wait. What we got going here?
I have no idea, Tedy. I got no idea. I have no idea why that happens, but if I do that, that happens. So, by the way, let me talk to the no sacks thing. Again, another example, Kansas City and Steve Spagnuolo, their defensive coordinator, always get after quarterbacks and offenses with all-out blitz. It's who they are. They always get home. Yeah. Buffalo absolutely anticipated it. But Buffalo, the ball to Amari Cooper, which is the remarkable catch, it's zero blitz. Josh changes the protection at the line of scrimmage. Remember that scout who said Josh was overrated and it doesn't do stuff at the line of scrimmage? He looks like a big old dummy today as well. The beautiful throw to Amari Cooper, that's zero. The Samuel touchdown, that's zero. The Shakir 3rd and 9 crosser, that's zero blitz, meaning everybody's pressuring and playing man coverage. And then let's talk about the 2 scrambles by Josh, okay? So that's a little kick to Shakir. The 2 scrambles by Josh, if you guys are going to play those, the understanding by Josh of going, okay, It's man coverage. I got to take off. It is such a big part of his game against Kansas City. What he does is like he peeks one, take off. It's man coverage. No one's accounting for you. And then the game winner is fascinating, guys, because Kansas City shows man. They play zone, and Josh just reacts. That play's dead. They're trying to pick it for Shakir up top. Kansas City schematically wins that rep. That is the perfect play call. They fool Buffalo. Josh just goes above the X's and O's. That play should not work.
So the importance of this game, D. Wood, we broke it down on Sunday Countdown yesterday. The Kansas City Chiefs now have a 52%, I think we've had the graphic up there, chance of getting the 1 seed, which is the most overwhelming advantage any team can have in any sport, getting the extra week and everything else. So there it is, 52% in Buffalo's chances, 36 with that win. Kansas City's chances would have gone to 90-something% with a win yesterday. Now the chase is on. How significant is that to you? Because Mahomes has beaten Allen all 3 times, or at least he's beaten the Bills. I know you get mad when I say it that way. He's beaten the Bills all 3 times they've met in the playoffs. Is this the year? Does Kansas City need to be at home to make this thing? This is all about history. No team has ever won 3 straight. Take it from this man who's been a part of teams that have won back-to-back, how hard it is to do. How significant is that to you? Buffalo kept the chase for the 1 seed alive yesterday.
Yeah, I always talk about, getting home field advantages. That's the, Teddy, you talked about it. It's the biggest advantage in all of pro sports. When you're able to have that first round bye. I know the Kansas City Chiefs went the long hard route last year, and they were able to do it. But I think they're the most vulnerable of any iteration of the Kansas City Chiefs that we've seen. I think this year they're the most vulnerable.
Why?
Yeah. Because when I watch them offensively, there's just a lot of holes in their game offensively. You don't see a lot of those explosive plays offensively. Their drives are real methodical. And when you're going up against really good teams, really good defenses, it's hard to go 10, 11, 12 play drives and go out there and score touchdowns. Not when you have, issues in pass protection. I just think that they're not explosive enough offensively.
There's Worthy.
They're not explosive enough offensively to be able to go to me this year, go the long hot route and go win a championship.
Yeah, you didn't draft the Worthy kid when you did just to run jet sweeps. Just to give them on reverses and all. I mean, although they've been affected, but you gave it to provide that threat down the field so everything could work underneath. And if he isn't consistently providing that threat, you take that element.
By the way, Dan's going to stay with us here, and we'll get to a few other things. So, you put the 2 fingers up. Can you do that again? And we'll see if the balloons happen again. So let's see if that happens. I don't know. Yes. Okay. Now, Dan, I'm going to ask you. You know that thing that you make a little heart? You put your hands together and you make a heart like Taylor Swift always does.
Can you do that, please? Forever, bud.
Can you do it, please? Yeah. And I just want to see if that works. Sometime. Yeah. There you go. There we go. So that's what's happening, one way or another, on Dan. There is a way to turn that off. I don't know what it is, but I'm begging you to do it before this conversation continues.
It's a setting. It's a setting.
It's a setting.
It's a setting.
That's a setting, and we need
Greg,
to
I don't even know how to turn the phone on, let alone turn settings off.
Yeah, that happened to McNutt once on the air, and this craziness ensued. Hear from Lamar Jackson after another devastating defeat to the Steelers.
It's been that way for ever since last year, I believe. Going back to the AFC Championship game, we killed ourselves. Chiefs game, the opener, killed ourselves. Raiders, we killed ourselves. And today, same thing. It's just like we can't be beating ourselves in these type of games. We got to find a way to fix that. Come on.
So you're not buying it.
I don't see it. I don't see what he's seeing when he wants to focus on penalties and things like that. But the Steelers hit you in the mouth, man. I mean, that's what it is when you play the Steelers and they beat you. You got to give it up. Your players weren't good enough, all right? The mighty Derrick Henry fumbled on the second play of the game, all right? Peyton Wilson made a play where you tried to rub him even, took the interception from Justice Hill. Patrick Queen took Isaiah Likely and said, give me that ball. That's what happened. You got beat. And there shouldn't be any excuse. Lamar should be looking at the Steelers got us again.
But can I ask a question? Why is Derrick Henry only getting 13 carries?
That's another one.
Why in the hell is Derrick Henry only getting 13?
Beating yourself, Todd Monken. Now go Todd Monken, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell are the Baltimore Ravens doing? You're talking about a guy that's going to walk into the Hall of Fame, one of the best backs in the National Football League. This is the reason why you brought Derrick Henry in. It's games like this, the best rivalry in the NFL. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and he only gets 13 carries. What you thought this was going to be like an air raid type of game?
Yeah.
Like this doesn't happen.
It was 18 to 16.
Pittsburgh, right? And you only give that beast of a man 13 touches. Like I don't even. It's hard to even fathom that, Rex. It's hard.
Like you can count on the Ravens.
There you go.
Things up.
As you just said,
One of the best kickers in the league, missed the kicks, and you got your key players not making plays.
yeah, Justin Tucker just hasn't had the kind of season that we are accustomed to from him. But let's just make 3 points, if we can, on the Derrick Henry of it all. Strike one, he only got 13 touches.
Right.
Strike two, 0 in the fourth quarter.
Crazy.
And then on the biggest play of the game, the 2-point conversion to try and tie it at the end, he's sitting on the bench. Strike three, you're out. What the hell were they doing, Rex?
I don't know. I got Todd Monken online. What? What? The same guy.
Decide, if you're the head coach, like, don't you have? I mean, I get it that he's your offensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
Doesn't John Harbaugh? Can't he go over and say, "Excuse me, why is Derrick not touched the ball?"
No, absolutely. And look, Todd Monken's done a hell of a job. This is the only offense that was averaging literally over 7 yards per play.
Right.
All right. And I killed Monken or whatever. But in that situation, what the hell are we doing? Like literally fourth quarter time? No. That's Derrick Henry time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have one tote in the fourth quarter. I get it in a 2-minute situation where maybe you want a guy with a little more pass protection and receiving ability. I get that. By the way, the clock stops on a 2-point play. Shouldn't we have the baddest back, maybe one of the best backs in the history of football back there? I don't know.
I mean,
maybe
even if he was there, you're not going to be able. I mean, that play right there, Nick Herbig just blows up 3 guys.
Okay,
and that's another example of just the Steelers, just hitting them in the mouth, just being better, being tougher, which is what they talk about this game. I never played in one of these. I mean, it's about hitting the most physical. Herbig was the most physical right there, taking out 3 blockers. So
here's the play. This is the 2-point conversion.
Look at Herbig right there. It's like he knew what play was coming. So Porter is clean, and it's Porter and Jackson and Mr. Jackson, as Mike Tomlin calls him. Yeah, Mr. Jackson right there. Put your butt out of bounds. It's over. Ball game. Porter, great play. Herbig, great play. Steelers players won the game.
Mr. Jackson was going to carry the ball.
Yes, he was.
That was it. Because you know why?
That was not a pass option.
Mr. Henry was sitting there over on the pines over there. All right, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And look, because of course you're going to set an edge. You got Lamar in there. You're going to give the ball to Hill? No. You put Derrick Henry in there, half the attention's going to Derrick Henry. I can assure you that you better start by going inside out. Here they're playing it outside in. Why? I got Lamar Jackson.
Right.
That's who's going to carry the football.
Look, both can be right, which is to say there were some mistakes made by the Ravens. We all think that Henry should have had the ball more, but Teddy is trying to give credit where it's due. Nate Herbig blows up 3 players on that play. He literally takes out 3 guys on that one play, and that's how. Look, he always wants to give credit to a linebacker. If there's one thing I've learned.
We in the backer hood. We in the backer hood on Mondays.
If there is credit to be given to a linebacker, Teddy is going to give it.